Hey, we're live. Just going to be talking about a film I did. Really short art house film, slideshow video with some dramatic music called The Babalon Working and the Atomic Bomb Ritual. And I took a long shot and I submitted it to the Hermetic for the first Hermetic International Film Festival, founded in 2017 in Italy. And it is a cool looking film festival. A lot. There's a woman, Sarah Fierro, art director, Chris Vale. And she's got this cool philosophy like crypto art. So I didn't think I would get in it. I've done a lot of films and put them now in film festivals. But this is probably the most interesting in that it was just one that I did alone. Laden heavily with occultism. And it was almost totally done like stream of consciousness, with images of Jack Parsons, who was a missile rocket scientist and huge into the occult in the OTO, which is a sort of a magic secret society of which Aleister Crowley was the head, and L. Ron Hubbard, the cult leader of Scientology, and a lot of guys with cryptic knowledge. Jack Parsons was a legit scientist at the JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And at some point, he got deeply into the occult as well. To see Clark, magic, any magic. Well, you know the quote. Wait, I got to get the quote. Got to get the quote. Hang on. The famous quote by any magic. Quote. C. Clark. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Any sufficient advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Definitely. So I'm going to probably do a follow-up to this one pretty soon, but Parsons' occultism was a big part of his life, obviously, and he did a working of which he would meet his Scarlet Woman, and take it for what you will. Legitimately, this woman with red hair showed up, Marjorie Cameron, and she was legit a military intelligence person in her own right. Allegedly, Aleister Crowley, the Beast 666, who is a much more famous occultist, and much more famous than Parsons because of his deep connection to lore associated with rock and roll, like Led Zeppelin. He's on the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper album and has become quite popular in the occult and pop underground circles, no doubt. But Parsons legitimately apparently has a crater named after him in the moon. And this woman, Marjorie Cameron, shows up and they begin to start to see each other intimately, apparently. And they traveled to Caltech to the observatory, and they tuned the telescope in on Saturn, and allegedly were copulating in the rays, being bathed in the rays of Saturn. Pretty nutty. What they were purportedly trying to do was make a moon child, which is sort of a, for all intents and purposes, like an Antichrist figure. Um, so Hubbard also was a big occultist and had something to do with naval intelligence, and obviously he used his skills to develop Scientology, which has been a great help to some people, but apparently has a reputation that precedes itself. So did they make a moonchild? How old would they be now? So I was thinking about this aspect and about the ritual he does to meet Cameron. And then I just sort of, my mind drifted and I added the atomic bomb portion. Which the great researcher James Shelby Downard, who I feature a lot in my videos in a certain way, cited the fact that the atomic bomb is a ritual, and it was done, I believe, in the 33rd parallel, into indicating esoteric Freemasonry, and in the area of truth and consequences, New Mexico, having some type of meaning. And there's a jumbo where people humorously get a kick out of, which was this huge, strange, gigantic metal object. It looks kind of like a pill. And it was, for some reason, in the area of the atomic bomb testing at the Trinity site, which also is imbued with some type of meaning. And if you notice in my film, it's not made for anybody who hasn't read decent amount on Hubbard, Crowley, and Parsons. No, without a doubt. And it's pretty sloppy and almost somewhat deliberately so. So you're supposed to watch it and tune in on it. And in fact, it expects that you not only are up on some magic, but you're up on either real or not, like conspiratorial lore. And Hubbard and Parsons had training and contact with Crowley. Big time. So I'm not trying to do anything political on YouTube, but I want to try to create. It's a great platform. And so thus I've become deeply involved in making some of these films about occultism stuff, which I have mixed feelings about, and maybe everybody should. So James Shelby Downard, who I mentioned, and I'm probably going to do another one of these weird films about. He sort of gave the idea that there was in high politics a big knowledge of occultism, and there's always a whore of Babylon woman that is recognized by Washington. So everything about this can't be untrue. Just if you look at the Masonic layout of Washington, D.C., and all the weirdness that goes with it. I think whether or not James Shelby Downard was a madman or a genius, there's a big time interest in the occult by the big guys. It's a little bit more pronounced in Great Britain, as if those of you who follow the career of Crowley, or way before him, Dr. John Dee, 007. Ultimately, the James Bond character is a tribute to the occultist John Dee in England. America's occultism is a little bit more hidden, I think, oddly, and yet not. But you can trace, or you can read a lot about it in the writings of Manly P. Hall, right? The high-up Masonic historian. Interesting enough, and I'm going to be doing this on the next part of this. The atomic bomb ritual part, I only touched a little bit, but if we look at the writings of the late Kenneth Grant, who was a high-up lieutenant in the Crowley organization, or he knew him well, student of his, associated with his, and has by far probably the weirdest writings of his stuff. In the Magical Revival and outside the Circles of Time, and maybe others, he references the atomic bomb big time. It was this explosion and the test leading up to it that ruptured the subtle membrane of the Earth's magnetic atmosphere. These occurrence a massing of the shades. So Grant, the occultist, said there was something about the atomic bomb that excited the shades who were on the other side, beyond the veil. I'm definitely going to talk more about this another time for fun. Now, Parsons engaged in a scientific study on the grounds of his own home, blew himself up. And it was said that allegedly Crowley warned him that he was dabbling at forces that he shouldn't, and so forth. So was he doing a mix of science and sorcery when he blew himself up? Interesting. So I look forward to be part of the Hermetic Film Fest. Hermetic Film Festival in Italy, as part of the Cryptic Art. Big time. The festival director, very interesting take on art. Pretty interesting. And I like the open-mindedness of it. So she's got it's pretty sophisticated, but she's got like this. I love this phrase she uses of this crypto art requires you to kind of know something. So Italia is got a long history of the occult. Cagliostro, Casanova. I don't know if Casanova was an occultist, but he was mysterious and very obviously good with the women. Giordano Bruno. And many interesting occultists are there. Were there. Art is occultism. I guess I'm not a joiner anymore, so I certainly wouldn't be wanting to join the Illuminati. But by the same time, I love the idea of this festival. Cult arts and cult sciences. The lines are blurred between art and the cult, that's for sure. The Invisible College. Interesting enough, I did at some point in my life, I was in Ingolstadt, Bavaria, which is where the Illuminati was founded. And when I was speaking to some people there, one interesting thing about them was apparently everybody wanted to join. And so I was there, and the Jesuit school, is torn down, and there's just a little plaque. Mary Shelley has her Frankenstein character go to school there. And the X-Files did a funny spoof of it, and on and on. Why am I talking about the Illuminati? The OTO that Parsons and Crowley and Hubbard in is that type of organization. In fact, I believe in terms of the esoteric part, they took over that role. Don't know how much in politics OTO is involved. Oh, this is interesting. Miss Fierro is prone to ghosts and phantoms. Interesting. In her about section. And that's what I'm doing now, a ghost tour guide. And she reads a lot of books. So I'm very proud that my little film that I put together is a part of this. And I hope people dig it, and I look forward to seeing other people's films in this. And yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to try to create some more stuff, and I'm going to keep everybody posted on this channel. I don't think I have any subscribers yet, but I'll try to reach out. Look forward to this festival, and I will announce with every platform that I can get a hold of when it's happening. All right. You guys take care, my friends. Talk to you later.